Dear President Alan Garber, concerning the democratic values and the free world you claim to represent, I wonder if you could find a student or even a professor to quote a few lines concerning the racial law enacted the 3rd of January 1925. Could you tell the difference between the Nazi and the Fascist racial law? As a matter of fact, these racial laws have never been abolished and still today are shaping every line of every school book of every university west of Kiev, including every subject starting from mathematics and drawing, but especially history and justice. Also, Wikipedia doesn't dare to publish the translation of these documents, but there are a few in Latin and in Italian. By chance, I am from Italy and I'm here just to ask you a few questions about it. I suggest the President Alan Garber to document yourself and ask the Senator for Life, Ms Liliana Segre. She is a Jew and a survivor. You may also ask the senator if she was persecuted because of the fascist racial law enacted the 3rd of January 1925, or she had to wait the Nazi racial law 14 years later in November 1938. You may also ask his son, the lawyer, concerning the propaganda of democracy and diversity she represents so well, as she is the perfect cover-up for the racial law and the real Holocaust still going on since the 3rd of January 1925. From the start, I like to address that the democratic values are the result of the emancipation from the absolute power of the Church. The democratic values, like the freedom of choice and the secular value of justice, have never been Catholic values but Catholic heresy to be persecuted throughout history with repeated genocides and intellectual cleansing, and last by Mussolini. And especially the secular value of justice, especially the emancipation from the divine justice, is the exact reason why the ancient Romans used to call the Christians with the name of uncivilized barbarians and terrorists. Second, I like to recall for you that the 3rd of January 1925, Mussolini said that the democratic values have to be found in the Catholic tradition. Then he dismissed the parliament, the political parties, the freedom of press, created Vatican City, made the Catholic religion the religion of state, and persecuted the opposition as apostates of the faith and enemy of the state. Then, after the end of the war, the fascist racial law of 1938, repeating the Nazi racial law, has been abolished, but the Vatican was not removed or excluded from the public administration to restore legality the way it was before the reformation of Mussolini. And the fascist racial law of the 3rd of January 1925 have never been abolished but renewed with more anathema and privileges of culture and tradition, like the pretension that the democratic value would be Catholic legacy, despite nobody was ever able to tell any of these democratic values of Catholic tradition, but the tradition of tyranny and abuses, corruption, intellectual cleansing, intellectual servitude, and witch hunting. Dear President Alan Garber, could you tell the difference between the Nazi racial law and the fascist racial law? It took a dictatorship to restore the Vatican as a moral leader, after it was overthrown because of the tradition of tyranny, mafia, and corruption, and the degenerated perverts they are and tormentors they are. Could you tell how the democratic values have become Catholic legacy without having to quote the racial law as evidence of democracy? Could you tell the high moral ground of the racial law and the divine justice is not the only reason to justify your claim of democracy and diversity? Could you tell how many times the Vatican was overthrown in history from administering any form of justice on earth? Could you tell the emancipation from the divine justice is the exact reason why the ancient Roman used to call the Christian with the name of uncivilized, barbarians, and terrorists? In conclusion, the democratic values are not those of the multitude to impose their recommendation above the law as a divine opinion, but those of the individuals to claim the rights they are supposed to have and to question your claims with factual evidences. So I, like President Alan Garber, could democratically answer a few simple questions and demonstrate the students of Harvard are not brainwashed 100% with no exception. In conclusion, I have to ask you again if you could tell one democratic value that it has been a Catholic value in history. If you could tell how the democratic values have become Catholic legacy without having to quote the racial law of Mussolini, because that is not evidence of democracy. If the high moral ground of the racial law is the only reason to support your claim of democracy and diversity. Last, not least, I suggest the President Alan Garber to document yourself and ask the Senator for Life, Ms Liliana Segre. She is a Jew and a survivor. You may also ask the senator if she was persecuted because of the fascist racial law enacted the 3rd of January 1925, or she had to wait the Nazi racial law 14 years later in November 1938. I would like the senator could tell one democratic value represented by the Italian parliament since the 3rd of January 1925. I underline, while the senator repels the fascist legacy is the only reason to justify them as Democrats. You may also ask his son, the lawyer, concerning the propaganda of democracy and diversity she represents so well, as she is the perfect cover-up for the racial law and the real Holocaust still going on since the 3rd of January 1925. Why don't you ask the senator in what system of value whatever idiot worldwide has the rights to feel honest with the recommendation of the bishop for diploma and degree they never had, while the other, the locals, don't have the rights to have confirmation of their true academic career with best marks from state university and become paperless like impostors and counterfeiters? You could also ask the PhD professor of Giulio Regeni in politics at Cambridge University, Professor Maha Abdelraham, if she could help you to answer a few questions, or she's another piece of propaganda of democracy from Jerusalem. Dear President Alan Garber, the ethnic replacement is just a synonym for the racial law. It is also a synonym for intellectual cleansing, intellectual servitude, and slavery. It is a double bind, exactly like mafia do. So I wonder if you could really provide evidence of that diversity, democracy, and free world you claim to represent, or you are just another of the many Romans from Jerusalem. Dear President Alan Garber, as further evidence, I send you the following documents in attachment. As you can see, it was the police in Milan to issue my passport and then confirm my address and presence in person in more papers, my property house. Could you tell in what system of value later they could claim I wasn't there? As you can see, from the photograph of my graduation ceremony at the Verona University, I mastered my degree with best marks. Could you tell in what system of value later they could claim I wasn't there? As you can see, I had a PhD offer in visual perception, and I already had sponsor and customer, but the consulate couldn't provide passport replacement after the theft of my passport, and the Verona University couldn't provide confirmation of my university degree with best marks, and I have become paperless like an impostor. As you can see, the European Union sent a lawsuit to Italy for the violation of civil rights on the ground of the letters from the consulate, the photograph of my graduation ceremony, the witnessing of the English police and more English public officers. As you can see, it was in the news, with the dean of the faculty in Verona reporting the best mark, and also the assistance provided by the consulate in making me paperless and look like an impostor. Could you tell in what system of value the prosecutor could claim it didn't happen against the letter of the consulate and the witnessing of the police? Could you tell is it the holy cross in the courtroom to transform the perjury of public officers into acts of devotion and career opportunity? Could you tell in what system of value, years after the happenings, the Prime Minister Tony Blair could claim it is an Italian private matter? If Giulio Regeni has the right to feel honest with the recommendation of the bishop for diploma and degree he never had, while the other cannot have confirmation of their true academic career from state university, but eventually would be impostor or eventually terrorist for claiming their rights not to be the impostor. So I send you the photograph and the witnessing and the reports of the police and public defendants concerning repeated false accusation after the European Union sent lawsuit to Italy for the violation of civil rights as further evidence of cover-up with more blackmail and witch hunting of divine origin. As matter of fact, they feel they have the rights to make people paperless and then claim the victims are the problem, not conforming to their high moral standard of degenerated perverts they are, starting from royals and bishops. Never mind Jimmy Savile. Dear President Alan Garber, your divine view of democracy and justice is colliding with the real world of corruption you represent, and I thank the President Donald Trump for the opportunity to complain this regime of recommendation and mafia. I would appreciate if Harvard University could confirm to the Member of Parliament, Mike Reeder, the statistical evidence of the degenerated perverts they are, starting from royals and bishops. I would like to know if the Member of Parliament, Shabana Mahmood, Minister for Justice, could answer concerning justice and the rule of the law, or she is another Roman from Jerusalem, like Maha Abdelraham, professor in politics at Cambridge University, but unable to answer simple questions concerning the democratic values. I would like the Member of Parliament, Mike Reeder, could comment concerning institutional propaganda and the refund of the tuition fee to Ms Pok Wong. Dear Member of Parliament, Mike Reeder, if you could answer any of these questions, I wouldn't tell you. You won the war, but you lost the peace because you are very ignorant and very stupid. So I send you the reports and the witnessing of the police and public defendants as further evidence of the degenerated and perverts you are, starting from royal and bishop, never mind Jimmy Savile.
What we've tried to do is establish what we think about the things that we were told at the beginning. You are no different, I agree with you. But what we were told at the beginning, all of these things at the beginning, we were told that you had a mental illness, we were told that you were very risky, yes. We were told all of these things.
All these things.
And since that time, what we've done is that we've seen you on a regular basis. You've been kind enough to agree to see us, even though you didn't see the merit in doing that at the beginning, to see whether there was anything that we could see in terms of illness, but also to try and support you with the things that you wanted to do to get a bit more established and to be generally a bit happier with how things are. Not that I know what would make you happy. It's not anything that we're doing. It's much, you know, it's a different thing, isn't it? Now, throughout the time that we've seen you, my honest opinion of what I think, I believe in being honest, is that I don't see that you have an illness. What I see is that you've had very difficult circumstances to have to deal with. In terms of what we do, you know, we have a lack of illness going on. If we are not doing any of the psychological interventions that are relevant to any of these things, if we are not doing anything else, then what are we doing?
What?
So if you say
we dealing with?
If you say that you're the same person as you were before,
I've never changed it.
yeah, but our response to you has changed. The reason it's changed is because we needed to establish ourselves. All of these things at the beginning, we were told that you had a mental illness, we were told that you were very risky,
yes.
We were told all of these things.
All these things.
And since that time,
what are we
doing?
What?
So if you say
we dealing with?
We were told that you were very risky,
yes.
We were told all of these things.
All these things.
And since that time,
what are we
doing?
What?
So if you say
we dealing with?
What I find very, very funny is that nobody of you ever asked himself, how can a person live in this situation? With no passport, with degree cancelled, job opportunity.
How do you know that
cancelled?
nobody's asked themselves that question? I've asked myself that question when I've seen you.
Yeah.
And I think it's an intolerable way to have to live.
Yeah.
And I think it's an intolerable way to have to live.
Yeah.
And I think it's an intolerable way to have to live.
Yeah.
And I think it's an intolerable way to have to live.